annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's Grizzly once again with Shalyn and Rodgers. Grizzly's Paranormal True Crimes, Part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Good Friday. Yes, how's everybody doing today? We did actually forget, ladies and gentlemen, it was Good Friday. I do apologize that we would have postponed it. So we're just waiting for a couple people to trickle in. So how everybody's doing out there? So we got Sky out there. We got hello, Denise. I want to say a hello to Sonia. Hello there, sweetie. Denise, welcome. Denise, hello. Grizzly on the Hunt is saying happy Friday to everybody. Let's see here. Lori, sent you the link. Catherine, my friend, sent you the link too. Sonia, a little sweet little thing. Hello, how you doing out there in La La Land? So, wait, let some people trickle in here as we get the show started. We do have some more information that is related to the case, so it's going to be very interesting to actually see what's going to be revealed tonight. I actually do not know. So we're going to be very careful. Our hearts and our thoughts go out to the family members of Zion, friends and family. We were doing this to see if we could help with anything. Just my mic here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Don't want to blow anybody out of the stage here now. But yeah, Shay should be here any second. And here she comes right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a warm welcome applause there. What's happening, Shay, mate?
It's my new laptop. I don't know what's going on with it.
That's all right. Hey, man, it's Happy Friday, and my whole system just crashed, just like that. So, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, we didn't crash. I was like, woo, I just lost everybody. All right, so what's going on with you today?
Nothing. I've been really tired the last couple days.
Yeah, I bet. It's been an exhausting week, man. It's been a long week. What about you? I mean, you've been working like overtime on this, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I've done a lot of work and a lot of research and a lot of finding of things that are pretty interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. That's what that's my understanding. So let's for the people that's just now joining in with us, ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast and around the world. We want to give a shout out to everybody in Facebook land that let us broadcast live, all the moderators and admins. Thank you. Much love. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. It comes back tenfold. Coast to coast around the world. Thank you all. Hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Kath, I see you backstage. Stand by. I'll bring you on, sweetie. All right. If you don't mind, Shay, do a recap for everybody. Let them know what's going on.
Well, it's about the case with Zion Foster, who came up missing out of East Point, Michigan. We are trying to locate her, and maybe bring her back to her family so she can be, put at peace, and her parents can. I don't I don't want to use the word closure because there's never any closure, but because it's something that will impact their lives forever. But at least they will have a place where she can be laid to rest and a place to visit her and know that she's she's not out there somewhere where nobody knows. So we had some wonderful psychics come on last week and gave some very good tips, and I'm intrigued, and I'm also very interested in to hear what our panel says tonight.
Now, let's do a recap. Now, what actually happened? What transpired? The ones that do not know about the case. Let's
Um,
just do like a 40-second recap.
she had went in with her cousin, which is a cousin by marriage. There's no blood relation. The parents have since been divorced. Um, the parents were at odds, his family, her family. So there wasn't a whole lot of communication. They had started talking on social media, and she had been picked up from her home to go over, and there's two stories: either watch a movie or go run an errand with him. Um, that was on January 4th, early January 5th in the morning, a little bit after 12 midnight. She had texted her mom that she was on her way home. Zion never showed up at her house. So the cousin was in question, was, questioned by law enforcement. They determined that he was lying. There was forensic evidence found in the car that led for them to believe that there was foul play and that Zion was no longer with us. So they end up it says that he turned himself in, and he was arrested in court. Well, he was arrested. He did a plea deal. They went to court. That he was convicted for lying to a peace officer. Was given 23 months to 4 years. He served just under 10 months through a special program. Now, he admitted in court in front of the judge, in front of Zion's parents at that time, that he had panicked because they were smoking marijuana, and when he came back into the room, she was not breathing. So he, by his words, said that he panicked, did not know what to do. So at that time, he rolled her up in a carpet and disposed of her body in a dumpster.
Now, he actually, ladies and gentlemen, said this in a court of law, in front of a judge, in front of the victim's family. Yes. And it has been filmed. And we played it several times on that. Carol. Yes. I'm sending you a link right now. So, yeah. So that's the issue. And we do not know. There's so many different rabbit holes that's going on and up and down. So we decided that we would get a panel of people that have abilities to see what they can find out into some of these unsolved crimes, murder cases, missing people cases that are not being solved. So we know for a fact, me being in law enforcement, that psychics and people with abilities do work with law enforcement and in agents in different agencies. Now, do they say they work with them? No. They're usually their hosts, guests. They call them something else. I mean, you just can't say, well,
Sarah, she's a psychic, and she's told me exactly where to go down to the creek and look underneath the bridge, underneath that old hood of the car.
because that's not going to stand up in the court of law. But if they get enough leads and they get, some hound dogs down there. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Lisa. Hello, hello, hello. And they get enough dogs down there and they go in that general direction and they do recover something. Now they go in front of the court of law with evidence. You see what I'm saying? So, where we stand at today, was there any more new evidence that came out in the papers or anything that we found?
No, everything. So everybody thought that he was actually released in March. Come to find out, he was released in the middle of January of this year. There was no warning to anybody, and there was no news coverage or any media outlets. No social media, nothing until up until about a couple weeks ago. There was a very short couple clips because somebody had caught him, had seen him. So that is when it came out that he was out of jail, and that was when her parents found out. So 2 months has went by without anybody knowing that he was really out. Now the thing is there's a victim impact, and it's a constitutional right. They are supposed to notify the victim or the victim's family in this case where the victim is no longer with us, that they're getting out. Now, the other thing is if they're going up for parole, they're supposed to also be notified that they're going up for parole, because they can have a say in the parole. They can either show up or they can write a letter, to the parole board saying, that they don't feel that he should be let out this time because, this and that. Or they met him, maybe forgave him, and then saw that maybe he was rehabilitated. And then this is just what isn't with Jalen. This is with any other person who has done a crime, a severe crime, a violent crime. Now, people might say, well, okay, lying to a peace officer isn't a violent crime. But I actually looked into the penal code of our state and went down, broke it all down. And he is a violent offender. And in the beginning of this case, the high up Detroit official in the police department actually made the comment in quote saying that they believe that he had something to do with her disappearance, and that they believe that he was responsible for her death. All this stuff is now gone. It is gone. If you go on to Safari or any social media, there's links that are taken down. It says this Safari page is no longer available, whatever it is. But because I've been so involved in this case from the very beginning, I actually have all this old stuff. So I have it, but if somebody else were to look it up, it's gone. And it's from newspapers, social media, videos, footage on other social media. So there's a whole lot of going on with the case, because why was he not being held accountable and slipped out the back door? And constitutional right was broken here. This is a constitutional right, and this goes across many levels. We're talking, the other thing is the judge who sentenced him had to sign off on for him to do the program, basically. And
well, ladies and gentlemen, the problem we have here, okay, let's stop and think about this. That we have a law in the books, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's called the Casey Law. Now, the Casey Law states that if an offender gets out of jail for some reason, right? Gets out of jail for some reason, the victim's family gets notified prior to the release. Now, from my understanding, this did not happen. Am I correct?
30 days before the release date.
That did not happen. Am I correct?
Did not happen. The warden is supposed to send it to the prosecuting attorney of the county he was sentenced in. The prosecuting attorney's office is responsible for notifying the victim's family.
Okay, now, was the media notified?
No, nobody was notified. Somebody had seen him 2 months after he was released. Nobody was notified. Nobody knew.
So he was actually walking out there on the streets, and nobody even knew that he was even out. Not even the victim's family, is what we're trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, how in the world did that happen? That's my question. Okay, now I know in the law system, in our legal system, our judicial system, we have flaws. Yes, we know there are flaws and cracks. I understand that. But I mean, explanations, anybody? Shay, go ahead.
There was actually also, remember in the beginning of this case, I told you that they had found the forensic evidence that led them to believe in his car. There was homicide warrant issued for him. That was rescinded.
Oh, that's right, from another state.
Right. And then remember I told you, no, that was a different case. It was from Michigan. It was here for that case. Because
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
for the judge, and then everything was rescinded after that he was allowed into the special program. Now, what his charge was it was many things in like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it was like if a person is involved in kidnapping, if a person is involved in first or second degree murder, if a person is drug offense, if a person is convicted of sexual conduct. How you they made the statement, he made the statement that there was a murder or a homicide warrant out that was rescinded. I told you about the official that said that they knew that he was involved with the kidnapping, and also they believed that he was responsible for her murder. That was in the beginning of the case. So there you go: kidnapping, murder, marijuana, regardless if it was just marijuana or other.
Now, all these are alleged charges, but they were not prosecuted in a court of law. These were pending charges. Okay, these were not, they went to court and they charged him. These were just proceeding charges. These were in the process.
Yes.
So let's make sure everybody, ladies and gentlemen, know that up front. So he was not charged with anything at this time.
Correct.
So, I mean, here we got different states, different jurisdictions, broke different laws in different areas. And I don't know if they didn't know what was going on or not, but, and then he's in front of a judge saying, "Judge, we're smoking dope. And I freaked out. She died. I didn't know what to do. So I had to sit there and get my thoughts together. And I see my life, my apartment, my kids, my Facebook, whatever he said.
Yep.
And I freaked out." And the judge said, "So you're trying to tell me, sir, that you and her were stoned and you didn't think to call 911 because you thought that she was not breathing?" Now, I don't know if that was the exact words. Now, you can look that up on YouTube, okay? I'm not saying that's for verbatim, but I'm just saying, I mean, now, if I was smoking a doobie on a couch and somebody dropped dead, I'm calling 911. I don't care about no doobie. Somebody dropped dead. Somebody got some bad weed. It is what it is. But why would you turn around and dispose of a body? See, that's the problem I don't understand, ladies and gentlemen.
And not even charged with it. When he made
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you already got the.
Wasn't charged.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fine. And then all these other charges just evaporated and no one even knew. So it kind of got lost. And since there was no coverage and people thought, okay, well, he was charged and there's pending charges while he's in jail. It kind of just got evaporated and forgotten about. And now here we are. And he's out. He's walking the streets. And so many things have been left out or violated or not done properly. So either way you look at it, whatever storyline or however this turns out, either he was doing something, I want to say, for the greater good, or he was let out for any other reason. Now you're talking about many, many systems on the state, county, city levels that like ate their words, but they didn't eat their words publicly because they just walked them out the door. And now all these links are gone. All these stories are gone.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're not conspiracy theories, okay? Now, I'm not saying that somebody, I see you, Brig, I see everybody backstage. Bear with me, y'all. I'm getting ready to start bringing y'all some on. I'm not saying we're conspiracy theories or anything, but it's awful weird when somebody starts shedding a light on something and things start disappearing. What is there something out there that they don't want us to know? Or are we just potheads, crackheads, or what? I don't know. So we got a guest backstage, and we have a code word, and they know that code word. And if you do not know that code word, make sure and text that in the comment section. I made sure to put that code out there so we don't release sensitive information out, just in case if we do actually get some information. So first up, welcome to the show. Introduce yourself. Oh, absolutely. Introduce yourself. Tell us all about you.
Sure. I'm Lily Bhattacharya. I was a prior psychologist. I met Melinda, and she told me about her work, and she mentioned she was doing this. So I'm taking a class from her. And then last week I was watching your show. I really loved it. You guys seem really great. And then I was starting to get hits. I started to get information, and I typed it in the thing. And then that's when you said, "Do you want to come on?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Absolutely.
I was a little unprepared for what happened, because what happened was I typed up some stuff. I got some good stuff, and then I feel like I lost the information. So I sat with it again, and then I asked Zion to come forward. I got some stuff. I think I will share that privately in the behind scenes, because I'm worried that if someone who shouldn't be seeing it would see it, I just don't want them to do that.
Not a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and take you off. And
Yep.
if you don't mind, I'm going to keep you backstage. You can hear everybody else, okay?
Sure, of course.
Thank you so much. All right, next up on stage, we have the one and only that I tell you, now this lady right here gave me the bones and chills. She, Shay, she actually, ladies and gentlemen, predicted my assassination.
Oh God.
Yes. Welcome, Catherine.
Hi.
To the show. Everybody welcome her
Hi.
to the show.
Hi, guys. How are you? Hi, Shalyn. Nice to meet you.
Sue, nice talking to you.
So where are you from?
Well, I'm born and bred. I'm Greek Australian. So I was born in Australia. I've got my parents are Greek. So they migrated in Australia in the 1970s. I was born there. And so I've lived half my life in Greece, half my life in Australia. I've lived 4 years in Scotland, and I visited America last year and stayed there for about 7 months. And I fell in love with America. I did.
Isn't that wild, right?
Yeah.
Now, did you or did you not see when I was going to be assassinated if I proceeded on with my law enforcement career?
Yes, I did. And that's on video. It's documented. It's on video. And you actually turned around and said that you had seen that in a dream, and that you actually...
I told her when she told me that, ladies and gentlemen, I told her I had that dream before, and I got shot 3 times, and it felt so real. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I wet myself. I'm going to tell you, I'm live on the air. I wet myself in bed. I thought it was blood, and I never told anybody about that. And when she told me that she could describe that person, and I know that person's watching right now, just like I told you the other day, you're lucky I'm in a different state, pal. Yeah, I got the ball right now. I'm just going to say that. Anyway, so what did you do, and how did you do things with this case, and what do you do with the totality of the circumstances?
Okay. The only thing I got from you guys was a photo. So I got no name, nothing at all. And then I used psychometry through the photo. That's what a lot of mediums use, different divination tools. They can use remote viewing, they can use psychometry, they can use the dowsing rods to get answers, the pendulums, they can even do like a tarot reading. They can get different answers with different methods. So I see images. As soon as I connect, I will see images that just come in, like I'm talking to you guys. And
that's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, and I got a lot. I've got about 3 pages. She even woke me up, but not yesterday, the day before. It must have been about 1 o'clock. I felt somebody waking me up, and I knew I felt her presence, and it was like, I've got a number plate. I can give you a number plate. So I don't know if we're allowed to say things like that on the air.
No, so yeah, we're going to keep that backstage. We got a code word, so yeah. So anytime you want to talk about that, we're going to do that off air. Yeah.
Okay, because the other thing I've got, and I don't know if it's allowed to be on air, some numbers on metal containers.
Oh yeah, we'll do that off air as well.
Okay.
But do you have anything in general you can add to it or anything like that? Just, something general in area that's not really specific?
I know exactly where the body is. Well, to my understanding.
And where would that body shall be located?
I'm seeing a riverbank, and it's between a park reserve and an industrial area. And it's like the river goes across the city. I'm seeing a lot of lights, and the river just goes across the city, like on the side of the city, and then you can see a reserve, a park reserve, and an industrial area, and it's buried. It's there. It's dumped there, and there's metal containers from the industrial area around there. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does. All right. I'm going to put
Okay.
you backstage, and I will
Okay.
bring you right back on here in a second.
No worries.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. Now. All right, Derek Green, I see you. You'll be coming up next. But next, the one and only from Australia. Yes, it's you. Are you ready to come on there, Bree? Yep, she's giving me thumbs up. Welcome, Bree, from Australia, too.
Hello,
How you
everyone.
doing, Bree?
Well, thanks. How are you?
No, doing great. So tell me tell me a little about yourself and explain what you do and everything else.
Okay, so I'm in Western Sydney, Australia. So I remote view. I do tarot readings. I do lots of different divination ways. It's mainly my intuition. So when I'm channeling information, it's usually my gut first, and then I get my clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairalliance, and then all of them just kind of kick in after another. So yeah, I'm also a healer and a mentor. So I do like to help people with, life problems, I suppose. If I've been there myself, I do like to, kind of help people as more than just be a psychic, but a friend. And yeah, forgive me too if I do speak a little bit fast. When I'm trying to get information from spirit, it does come very quickly, and I don't always grab everything.
Right.
Grab it then. So if I don't make sense, tell me to slow down, stop speaking backwards, and I'll be able to slow it down for you guys.
Right on. Okay. All right. So what did you need to work on this case? What did you ask for?
Honestly, just my gut information, that like I normally go off every other day. So the one thing I can add, and it's been coming at me while I was sitting in backstage, a motorbike was involved. I feel like a road bike. Whether or not it might have been made to look like an accident, I feel that there's been a lot of foreplay at play here, so to speak. But there's been no ways of me to gain any evidence. I'm just, again, speaking from my gut, so we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, a motorbike was involved, and I do feel it's in a bad way, like it's very banged up. But I feel like that might have been on purpose, if that makes sense.
I think that's adding up to something, yes. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
That's literally all I've got at the moment. All
right, stand by. I'm going to bring you back. All right, next up, Mr. Derek Green, the one and only brother. I haven't seen him for a while, and his lovely daughter. Hello there, mate. How you doing?
All right, brother, you?
Oh, doing good. How's everybody over there?
Yeah, we're all fine, thank you. We're all, doing fantastic.
Well, good. So introduce your old selves and tell us where you're from.
Yes, well, I'm from a little place called Barnsley in Yorkshire. And I'm a psychic medium. I also do ghost hunting as well as a part-time. I have been doing psychic medium stuff since, about 35 years now. And I am currently traveling around doing a lot of readings for people and bringing them a lot of spiritual help.
Yes, you have. And I actually had you on my show, and actually you are in my book that's being processed. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. So my book's still open. I got a couple more people to interview to get in that book before it's published. So and who's your sidekick back there with you? All smiles and giggles.
I'm Kelly.
Hello, Kelly. I know who you was, but I want to introduce yourself to the world, Kelly. Yeah.
I'm Kelly. I'm Derek's daughter. I'm a paranormal investigator myself, but currently I can't go out at the moment because I am now 22 weeks on Wednesday, pregnant with a little boy.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
so
you.
So you're going to be a grandpa, eh?
Again.
Again. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, there we go. All right. So, Derek, what did you need it for this task?
Yeah, well, I was telling when you first asked me about this, I was saying to you that I'm dealing with a cold case where I live, and that cold case came in via a reading for somebody of somebody that was murdered and body parts were found and other bits and bobs, and I was currently working on that. That got me into the newspapers and local police and whatever else. It's still ongoing. I have come up with names and the part of the registration plate and how he got killed and possibly why he got killed. So it's still ongoing. We're still sort of working on that. It hasn't been solved yet. And that's what I've been doing so far. And then you asked me, and you sent me a photo. I said I'll try and link into that photo if you remember, which you sent me.
Right. That is correct. I sure did. And what did you come up with?
Right. So I've been looking at this photo, and while I've been sat here waiting to come on, I've gone through my cards and whatever else, and I pulled some cards out regarding this photograph that this person that's linking into it. I have heard that somebody else says that there's something about a river or industrial. I did get a feeling of water or a fear of water to where this body was or where she was found or where she was missing. But I do feel that also she had some sort of a nervous breakdown at the time. Like there's something happened to her that made her go off. I don't know if she went off with somebody else, if somebody else did something to her. But I also felt something towards the back of her head as well, because I got a bad feeling in the back of my head when I looked at this photograph. I do feel a lot of things going off with this female. There's been a lot of things that she sort of, like she's got two sort of a life. She's got a life that she leads people that you see her, and she's got a life that is sort of hid away, if you know what I mean, Christopher. Yeah, she's got a life that's sort of hid away. I do feel that she's got a lot of things that have been going off with her that people have been looking for her, or people have been trying to find her to get something out of her, possibly money, possibly something else. But I do feel that there's just been a lot of things happen towards this back of the head feeling. On my first card that I pulled out for her, I did feel like she was screaming like she needed help, but nobody came to help her. She was stuck, but I did get that feeling of water, and I've got a card that is linked to that water thing as well. I do feel that also looking at her, that I don't know if there was a partner involved or somebody that she knew that was involved in what happened to her. Yeah, does that make any sense to you, Christopher?
Yes, sir, it does. Absolutely, it does.
It's like there was somebody else that was there, somebody else that knew something, like somebody tried to cover something up regarding to her going. Like they knew more than what happened. Like she knew. I keep getting this feeling like she knew who it was. She knew the person involved. She knew who was there.
Wow.
And that's what I get from this photograph. And from the cards that I pulled out, there's a lot of things that are going off with her that is making me sort of think there's more to her passing than was actually said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let me put it to you this way. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned because all this is going to add up to you, Kelly.
Right, okay.
And Derek. All right. So stand by. Next up, let's see here. Any, mini, miny, mo. I always call her by the wrong name, ladies and gentlemen. I do. And she's there. There she goes. She looked up at me. She knows I'm going to call her name. She's smiling. Here she is.
Hello.
Carol Ann. How you doing, Carol Ann?
Good. How are you?
Doing fine. So I got to talk to you offline too, because you know that prediction you made about something a while back ago, it happened. Shazam. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sure did.
Great.
Anyways, but introduce yourself to everybody and let them know what you do and how you do things.
My name is Carol Ann Carey. I'm the psychic medium of Sarasota. and I've done international work between Canada and Vietnam. A lot of phone work for many years. That's what I did. Do a lot of video now. Very little in person, which is fine with me. I did get some hits. This is the first time I've been on your program, Grizzly. Nice to. The second time I've been with you is tonight, and it's been fun. And I got a few hits on this case with everyone else. I thought it was very interesting, and I got a couple. I'm happy to listen to what everybody else is getting. And I feel when we ended the last week, I felt I interjected that I don't believe that young man killed her. I believe I don't think he would have killed her. I think someone else killed her, and he is the patsy. And I think she didn't do what they wanted, and it was very rough. Like, I could see, throat, hair pulling, and that kind of thing. And it was hidden, as per some of the remarks that have been made. I thought, I did get the landfill thing dispersed. I feel as if she says to me, all I was given was her name. I wasn't given a picture or anything, and that's fine. The less I get, the better. She told me it's like ashes. She's giving me that song, scattered in the wind, like ashes scattered in the wind. Her body was dispersed.
All we are a dust in the wind.
Right. That's what she's saying. So I guess that refers to there wasn't a grave per se, like I had maybe imagined, but I guess there's no grave per se as of yet. Well, maybe there is now that the case is that her body's been released. But so anyway, that's what I get. That's what I've gotten. And I don't believe that he acted alone. And I don't think he wanted to go through with this. So I think he's a patsy. And I think there's more to come.
Wow. Shay, you have any questions?
Or something, definitely.
Shay, you have any questions?
No. I can't.
Okay, you got awful quiet. But ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. I'm getting ready to bring up one lady, one person with the sighting. Brenda's like, Chris, put me backstage at the end of the show, please.
And Carol,
okay.
The reason why I don't have questions is because I'm listening. And with
she's a note taker.
And learn, like, everything ties together. So if it doesn't make sense or I want you to elaborate, then I ask. But like my head, I see patterns and I can put things together very quickly once I have little bits of information and then I tie it together. So what things are being said, it may be slightly different than before, but it makes sense on another level. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we had one guest that was not able to make it. So what I'm doing is I'm actually pulling up her picture, sending it to Shay, pulling it up on Facebook on my personal page. That way I can share her picture. Okay. And I'm going to read what she sent me. First time opening it up. So let me go down here to share and present. And let me make sure I share the right page first. Hold on. I don't have anything up there I shouldn't have, but I'm just saying. Facebook, and there we go. Now hit share there. Now, can you see Gloria? Do you see Gloria's picture?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, now let me go back to Gloria's message here. So this is Gloria. Let me type her name back in so I can pull her back up. Let's see here. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing 3 things at 4. All right. So Gloria said, let's see here. Findings from Gloria. She's a visionary psychic medium. I heard the words that Zion Jones had her trachea area smashed. Something with her throat area. Something right around here. Mm-hmm. I see a young woman, possibly in her mid-20s, with either blonde or strawberry blonde hair, light blue eyes who was involved in Zion's disappearance. She appears to be interracial parents.
Yeah.
Maybe, but she didn't like Zion and saw her as competition. The last time this woman saw Zion, thought that she would never see her again, so as Zion left. She said, Zion, why do I get the feeling that I'm never going to see her again? She said, I kept hearing her voice say this was Zion's fake neighborhood. I didn't say buildings around the area or cars. It was pitch black and only was hearing what the voice sounded like was a man's voice. Now, remember, this is what she's hearing. So this is kind of hard because, you know, this is somebody talking to her and she's trying to explain it. And I'm trying to explain it through her, through me, through you all. Okay. So it's probably not making much sense. So, so basically there must have been, I'm going to kind of snowball this up, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, from what I gather from her report, that it looked like that the person knew the person. Let me hit stop sharing so I can see myself with everybody. Hold on. Click a button here. There we go. Hello. All right. So evidently she knew the person, evidently, and there must have been a struggle. And I don't know, compared to the other reports that we got, Shay, is that there was trauma on the head. And I think there was other trauma on the tracheal area. Mm-hmm. So there, in one thing, so that's one thing we do have to consider. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do have some important information that actually did just come into the show. Unfortunately, we are not able to release that on the air. So you will have to bear with me on that. It's for everybody's protection, not only our show, but also our guests and any members out there watching. We greatly appreciate it. The email address, grizzlytruecrimes@gmail.com. Please utilize that if you want us to look at any other cases. I do receive the cases that you do send us. Shay and I do receive those. We do review them. Bear with us. We will look at them and review each one of those, but we're trying to go through them as we go through this one. And up next, the one and only from Chit Chat Corner, Kat. How's Kat doing there?
Morning. How are we all? Or afternoon
Doing fine.
or evening?
Yeah. So what time is it over there? Noon, 7,
8:42 in the morning.
8:42. So you're awful bright and early.
Yeah.
All right. So introduce yourself to everybody there.
I'm Kath. I douse, I Reiki, I find stones. I look for missing people or animals, or I had a background in information security. I've done a year of criminal psych, a year of forensics. I like to find water, things like that. But this really interests me, probably the most.
Yeah, but see, you've actually done this before, though, haven't you?
Beg your pardon?
You actually worked on cases before, haven't you?
Yeah, I've worked on some big ones, but I don't let on anything, you know. I just do it quietly.
Oh, yeah.
But I do. I really like to do it. But I've never had any kind of, like you guys, I've never had anyone else to bounce off before or, you know, verify, unless, you know, you get to the end and then you can verify things. But this is the first time I've been able to work with you like a team and get other people's feedback as well. You know, it's really good having everyone else because, like you say, Shalyn, oh, sorry, I don't know how to say your name properly.
We call her Shay.
Like the narrative, you know, you can join the dots. That's what I like to do. So I like to start off from the top and then work my way back, right back to find out, you know, how everything happened. But this one here, there's a lot of dots starting to join up now, especially from last week. I went back and
I crashed yesterday and today. I barely slept because it's been like a constant, like just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into things. Well, Grizz knows half of the stuff I've done, but is ongoing, and they're right. There are a lot of dots to connect. A lot.
Yeah. Last week, that you brought up a few things, so I went back over those just to re-verify what I was, in case it was an off day or something. I'll rattle off a few. There's a few that I don't think it's wise. I've given Grizz all my notes, so the ones that I miss out on, I'll circle and then resend. But there's a few little bits in there that I better behave myself with.
Yes, absolutely there. I appreciate that, Kat.
So I went back over the where. I still get a construction site. I still get, there's a road nearby, there's a sign nearby. A new thing, though, I delve deeper into the actual position rather than, I call this Zion eyelash lady because I just had the photo and no name. So I call her EL. So on my notes, EL is eyelash lady. Okay, so then I got it more into the construction site. Any fencing? Yes. Dogs? Yes. 1. Any security around the area? Yes. 1 to 5 people there. There's building and sheds, but no construction yet. I still get the body is west from where she was initially passed over. I get, and I don't mean to be cruel or bland or anything like this. I know Zion is, a person. She's a beautiful person. So don't take me like I'm not being cruel. I'm in business mode right here.
No, you're fine.
So I still get she is intact. I have the handbag still with her. I still have she's 5 to 10 foot. I've got she wasn't drugged prior. Forcefully drugged. She and the cousin wasn't forcefully drugged. I've got, did he really wake up and find her passed over? Yes. There's a section there that you spoke about the judge. I'll leave that out.
I remember that now. Okay.
Beg your pardon?
I about the judge, I read it on the email. So
Okay, cool. Thanks. Then I tried to figure out what happened, why the two of them blacked out and didn't know what was going on. I'm not quite sure if I should do this bit. I've got there's gas. Chloroform. The perp wasn't with them at the time when they were gassed or whatever form of this was. They were outside. There was some sort of gas in some pipes. And the cousin was chloroformed. And then EL was strangled while they were both kind of under. Then I've got, there was only one perp involved in actually. Then I've got, did she know the perp? No. Had she seen the perps before face to face? No. More than one perp? No. This perp has killed before, paid hit. I'm leaving the next one out. I've still got that this perp has done 5 to 10 others. So then I've got the child trafficking, the handbag. Yeah, the handbag still. Then I went into that amethyst. You were speaking about the amethyst last week?
Yes.
I've got here that it's the perps. And it was only the perp who had the hands. I went into that DNA, not the same as the cousins, no relation. Then I went did she know something she shouldn't? Did she heard something she shouldn't have? The perp overheard her. Like she knew the perp was there in the somewhere around close, and she knew that she'd heard something. I feel the cousin was set up. He was paid off to fib. And I think he may have I'll leave that one out on him. So I think he could be in a bit of strife. I went back to the construction site again. And I think there are drugs there. I think there may be other things there as well, which I'm leaving out. Then I went, are there any other people passed away at that site? So I got a little bit into that. And I picked up 5 to 10 again, which gave me the goosies all over. Then you know how a couple of ladies picked up 34? I went into that and tried to figure that out. And to me, the perp wears something that has like a hat or some sort of sports cap, or, you know, those singlets or something. I picked up that they wear it. There's the numbers somewhere on their clothing, or that's pretty much it. I just went back over everything we did last week to try and, you know, verify more.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start dropping everybody back on here. That's now everybody has not been on here that's on here last week. Let me well, everybody's so small. Let me see if I can make everybody equal. Bam, there we go. There, that's a lot better, ladies and gentlemen. I can see everybody. So some of the people last week were not able to make it, and vice versa. So there's a lot of interesting things. So what we did is we reached out to people that said they had abilities. We actually reached out to some that we knew of, right? We actually made a group just for these individuals that we will go to use them on other projects or other investigations. And each one of these people, I'm going to do one-on-one interviews with. Yes, Derek, I'm going to do you again, if you don't mind, because it's been a while. I know you got some good pub jokes for me, right? So, yep, I knew you would. So, Shay, if you could, why don't you explain to everybody exactly what we know, so let everybody kind of fill in where they come into play.
As far as what,
let's run down through the whole case of what we know. Let me find where you went to. You got miniature on me. Let's see here.
Can't hear.
I can barely hear you, hon. Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
You're okay.
Looking down. I'm gonna have to look down.
Oh, okay.
So she said that there was.
You're breaking up. We can't even hear you. No audio.
Now is it better?
Yeah.
Yes. No audio. No audio.
Okay. You know what, Grizz? I'm actually.
She's gonna log off and then come back on.
Okay, that's fine. So what I want her to do, she's been actually keeping notes on this case, ladies and gentlemen, from the beginning, from each person that's been involved.
Okay.
And I asked her to do that because if we take a piece of a pie, right? I love pie. I love pizza. Ain't that right, Sonia? We all love some pizza and pie. But if we all stand around a car in a circle, 20 people, and we look at that car at 20 different angles, we're going to see 20 different things.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean each person's wrong? No. So what we're trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is each person may have a piece to a puzzle that we're trying to put together. So each person that came forward may have something that goes to that puzzle that we could piece together. So, all right, Shay's back. All right, Shay, try it again. and Shay is not back. All
Hey,
right.
Grizzly, what is your email so I can email you what I have, and then you can tell me, if it's safe or
Yeah,
not.
sure. Very easily. It is grizzlytruecrimes@gmail.com. Grizzly
Okay.
truecrimes@gmail.com.
True crimes.
Yes, ma'am. And I greatly
Gmail.
appreciate you attending. And we still going to do our one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
Great. And you want me to go ahead and let you go?
Right now?
Yeah. Or do you want to stick around?
No, I'm sticking around. I'm not
Okay.
going.
Okay.
I'm just emailing you what I got, and then you can tell
Oh,
me
I
if that's
got you.
safe to mention, because
Yes,
I'm
I
not really
got you.
sure. And to be
I
honest,
got you. Now, let me
yeah,
log
I
into
think
my
that's
email.
safer. I think it's safer you look at it and tell me, because I'm not
Oh,
willing
so
to
I'm
put
going
some.
to end up swimming with the
Well,
fishes
I don't
now.
want to put. You're a cop with more clout. I'm a nobody who's starting this on the first time, so I'm just
Did it
trying
come
to help.
from Rebecca?
No, it came from guidance444@gmail.
Okay. So that is, let me, let's see here.
And it has the title of her first name.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Put on, Shay, if you're backstage, I'm signing in.
Chris,
Let me see. Yes.
did anyone else pick up any more on 34?
We're going to get
After
ready to
last
cover
week?
that. Yeah, we're getting ready to cover that. Let me see if
Okay.
Shay's here so I can bring her on while I'm trying to log into my account. Let me see. There she is. Shay, are you there?
I'm here. Is that better?
Oh, that's much better.
Yay!
All
Okay,
right.
take it away, Shay.
All right. So with Melinda, she picked up that there was drugs, but not major drugs, so that kind of fits with the marijuana. That there was a family member involved that she trusted, which would be her cousin. That she was innocent. That this is the that he had ill intentions, like not ill as in what had happened, but like sexual interests, which was very true. And let me say this before we start, because in the media, it was her cousin, right? So anytime there was any type of relationship announced, was like, oh, they're cousins. Come on. She and him were cousins by marriage and be second cousins by marriage, but it was her stepdad's family.
Yeah.
Her mom and her stepdad were divorced. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so they actually weren't cousins. They weren't really cousins in the beginning, but when they divorced, they weren't cousins at all. So I guess that's kind of important. So the whole family member, I don't know if she's seen him as a cousin, but he didn't see her as a cousin. So the whole intention of some type of romantic relationship, that makes more sense. Are you guys following?
Yeah.
Okay. There was an argument. Now, she also said that there was trees in the distance, that she was wrapped up in something. Well, we know that she was rolled up in a carpet. That's a known fact. That he wasn't telling the complete truth, which is obvious. He wasn't being truthful about the location. Now she said the body traveled north. It would be, if she was harmed in his well, he lived in a townhouse. I actually did some research. It was a townhouse. And it would be northeast. If the location that we're thinking, it'd be northeast. And that it was a big area with lots of garbage. So those are details. Some of the details kind of fit once we roll it all together. Sophia, let's see. She said they're okay, trusted with a cousin. And it was after 4 years, but it was actually 4 months. As we know, they were in communication for 4 months prior to her disappearance. So the 4 years, that was kind of picked up as 4 months. And that was a spur of the moment kind of decision. And that is true. Now, she had mentioned that there was some sex trafficking. That has been suggested. And there are some things that are maybe leading up to that. I don't know. Should we say any of this, Grizz?
Just briefly hit on it.
Maybe that's why he is not serving what he's supposed to be serving, or maybe that's why some of the stuff has disappeared. Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. So I kind of want to be careful.
Lily, you
Yeah.
are 100% on.
Oh, thank you.
I want to
Yeah.
be very careful.
I thought I was high on crack when I'm typing this up. I'm like, Grizz is going to throw me against the wall. Thank you for telling me.
on.
I'm a little bit sane here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot disclose that what she disclosed, but it is
Okay.
something, Shay, I will forward to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, Shay, keep going.
Yeah.
But
because I got this,
anybody,
Shay, I got the sex trafficking. So I was like, it's related to that. The guy, the other white guy, that not the cousin, but the white guy.
Okay.
That he owed money to, or this child, whatever debt it was. I sort of got information on that, and then I sent to him. So you'll see that.
It's not saying, but everybody hit on stuff.
No, of course.
But now this is the after thing of the why he's not.
Now, what city did this take place in, Shay?
She lives in East Point. She was picked up from East Point, Michigan. He lives in Detroit on the west side, Detroit, Michigan.
The highest known area for sex trafficking, ladies and gentlemen, and dope.
Really?
The second highest. The second highest.
Second highest.
What was the name of it?
Well, in Michigan. Michigan's the second highest. But we're
okay.
talking about East Point, Detroit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to be careful with that whole situation. Yeah. So that there was no body, she was still missing, which is true, but we do know from his admission in court that there's no life. Okay. So we know that she's deceased. Now that the sex trafficking was brought up, a lot of people are hitting on the strangled part. The strangled, violent. She fought back. She would not agree to what was being done to her. That's one that people are being hit on. There was also said that the cousin owed money for drugs. That somebody had also said that.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. Now, the other person said that there was 2 people involved. She was raped and tortured. It started as a friendly / hangout, but it turned to sex trafficking. So what we know now is that there was reached out friendly for a month, brought in a relationship, and now we bring up the sex trafficking again. That was when the amethyst jewelry, and it was not Kath that said it initially. Kath, remember you said somebody said about the amethyst jewelry? Well, somebody else hit on that, and then you hit on it as well. But nobody mentioned like if she had it, it was just seen. So you're specifying that it was being seen on somebody else. So that what goes hand in hand. A woman, everybody is hitting on saying that she was involved. There was a woman involved. It was his girlfriend. Now I don't know to the extent of her involvement because she's never been charged. Nothing else has been on the news with it. I do know that they were saying that she was the one that was helping him carry the rolled carpet out that was caught on
allegedly.
Is she tall?
Yes, allegedly. So we cannot speculate to her.
What was your question, Kat? Hold on, Shay. Kat.
Sorry for interrupting. Is she tall?
Yes. She's pretty. I can give you. You know what? I wrote that down. I believe she's like 5'10", 5'9", and he was like 6'3". But she's tiny. She's tiny. Somebody said. Now, one of you today said that she had heard or saw something, right? That she wasn't supposed to. This person also hit on that she had witnessed something that resulted in the killing. But this person also said that it was sex trafficking, the other person involved. So if you tie everything up together, if it was sex trafficking and she was, struggling, there was a violent fight, she was being held. Well, they couldn't just let her go, right? At that point. So I think maybe if she knew what was going on and that was maybe the sex trafficking, well, if she's not going to comply or participate in any way, shape, or form, they can't just let her go. So with some people or a few people saying, well, she witnessed or seen or heard something. Well, there you go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now, this is the other thing, and this was more than one person. At the beginning, when remember I said that he went in for questioning, he was lying. It was the text messaging. He hadn't talked to her.
I tell you what, Shay, while you're talking, I'm going to bring that footage up because these people have not seen that footage of this guy in court. And I think the audience ought to see this guy because these people, I want to see what they get by watching him in court talking. So go ahead and talk. I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah, so I'll finish this up with the forensics and then we'll pull the video up.
Yes.
So everybody was saying that there was stuff inside the vehicle. And I'm going to elaborate with a few different people. This is not just one person. Somebody said that there was fingerprints, that there was hair, there was stockings in the wheel well, that she was in the trunk. Okay, this is all in the car. At the very beginning, that's why the whole pending charges, violent charges that were rescinded and dropped. At the beginning, everyone figured that he lied to the peace officer. That's what he was charged with and convicted of in court. But all the other charges were dropped. But nobody could understand because when he went to court, they thought, well, it will give time for them to investigate because this is still an open investigation, an open case. Okay. There was forensic evidence found in his car for one of the head officials of the Detroit Police Department to make the statement in quotes saying that they strongly believed he had something to do with the disappearance, and they do believe that he is responsible for her murder.
All right. With that being said, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going live. Make sure and let me know you can hear the audio. Here we go.
Okay.
Yes, I lied. But I told you not.
Hey, wrong button. I don't even know what's going on there. Here we go.
Might want to turn it up a little bit, Grizz.
Yeah.
His desire, if we haven't accepted it. You are Mr. Frazier? You are Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Frazier, you understand the maximum period of incarceration the court can impose for the lying with respect to the peace officer involving investigation of violent crimes, 4 years. 2 years for the lying with a investigation to a peace officer.
Yes.
When you reviewed the pre-sentence investigation report,
Yes.
it's factually accurate.
Yes.
Is it your desire to accept your previously tendered pleas?
Yes.
The record reflects the court does in fact accept your pleas. Are you ready for sentencing today?
Yes.
Very well. Mr. Doty, what would you like to say on behalf?
Your Honor, appearing before you is Mr. Brazier. He's 23 years old. He's engaged. He's the father of 2 children with 1 child on the way. He currently lives with, he was at the time living with his spouse to be in Detroit in their home.
Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. That is not the video we were looking for. So let me go back here. Yeah, that is not the one we're looking for. So let me. There it is. There it is, right there. That's the one I want. Let's try this again, shall we?
Hear myself again. Yes. But I was not in the right state of mind.
The beginning of that? Let me, no, I'm not. There we go.
Yes, I lied. I was not in the right state of mind. There was no way for me to prepare for a situation like that. I was scared.
I'm not totally clear on the situation. The report is rather sketchy with respect to the situation.
And I will put Your Honor in.
Appreciate it. But what the report suggests is that you had contact with the individual. The police questioned you regarding that contact. You didn't tell them the truth associated with the contact. Then you, once confronted with information that you were not telling the truth, came forward and you told them that you disposed of the body. I mean, that's all. That leaves a whole lot out there that's unaccounted for from the court's perspective. What circumstances are you talking?
Well, when she died, it was random. Like from my perspective, like from my end of it.
What do you mean?
I was terrified. Literally from that point on, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't in the right state of mind for anything. And I turned myself and they didn't present me with anything. After getting my thoughts together.
So did you explain how she passed?
I don't know exactly how she passed, what caused her to pass. I just know 1 minute she was cool, she was fine, she laid back for a minute. Next thing I know, she was dead. I don't know what caused it. I did not cause it or anything like that. I reacted stupidly off of fear and panic like I've never felt before in my life. Literally.
I mean, people are sitting around and somebody just passes. Did you think about calling 911 or something like that?
No, not at the time. I was smoking. We were on marijuana as well, so my mental state wasn't in any like logical spectrum. I was just immediately just terrified. Like that's the only words I use to describe it. The moment.
Are you telling me that you're stoned, she's stoned, you think she dies, and then you dispose of the body? Just like that? That was your choice?
I sat for a minute and I didn't know what to do. I was like, I just did not know what to do. It's like
the first thing that came to your mind, I'm trying to understand with the limited information I have, that this person passed away in your presence, and your first thought is, well, I gotta.
My first thought was how bad it looked to start with. It's like, how do I explain like what happened? I don't know why she died or what it caused her to die, and just a lot of possibility just popped in my head, and I was just reacting off of just innate fear. I don't know. Literally, I don't do anything. I just didn't know what to do. Literally, I literally did not know what to do. I sat for at least 10 minutes sitting there. Like, what do I do? Who do I call? My kids are upstairs. We just got into this place after struggling for like 2 years to get it, and everything is falling down.
I won't have any conversation in this book.
And I wish I could take it back. I would have called the ambulance, called her mom, because her mom's so sweet. Her mom is so sweet. I just knew. I wish I could take it back. Nobody been in the situation. At the very least, they'd be like, okay, this happened, confirm this. And everybody has some sort of peace right now. You know? But I just didn't know what to do. It's not something, in life, you try to mentally prep for a lot of situations. But when one that you just would never have even thought to happen just happens, and you're like, wow, immediately the first thing comes to your mind is everything you're about to lose, how it's going to affect your kids, your life in general. Then after that, how it's flipped when whoever, it's like they play telephone and change many times. Facebook, everything, just a lie hitting me at once. And I had to just take time and try to get my thoughts together because I was on panic mode ever since that happened. Her mom at one point talked to me and I couldn't bring myself like, your daughter just died. What do I do? And I can't even explain it. What happened? I can tell you my honest reaction.
On my client's behalf, I can say this: every interaction I've had with them, whether it's over the phone, via Zoom or personal field visits, it's the same reaction. We wish you could take it off, and we know that's not possible. But if there's one person that might deserve to take it back, he does, because he showed nothing but regret, sorrow, and just the utter confusion on his own actions. You know, he expressed to me on multiple occasions, "I can't believe I did what I did. I still can't believe it because I'm not that person." And I don't believe a lot of my clients because they're always just trying to get over, trying to increase their time in jail or prison or whatever it might be. This gentleman's not one of the person.
Very well, Mr. Prosecutor.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If we're sitting around smoking some joints and you drop dead, the first thing I'm doing is calling 911. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit there for 10 minutes thinking about, my next life flashing for me for 10 minutes, freaking out, trying to figure out what's going on.
If you look at his face, there's not a tear shed. His face is not wet. So he was fake crying all through that.
I didn't say that. See?
I did.
Hey, hold on for a second. Kelly Joe is in the house. Let Kelly Joe speak. Kelly, are you there, Kelly? You're live, Kelly Joe. Hello, Kelly. I guess she's froze again. All right. Yeah. So, and now, being in law enforcement, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to give away. Okay, go ahead, Kelly. All right. You may have to reboot. You're being a robot again. Yeah, let her reboot here. So
I'm here.
Being in law, you're there. So I'm trying to catch up with these comments. Being in law enforcement, there are certain things that we look for when it comes to body language, micro expressions, and other things. Hey, Barb, what's happening out there? Hey, Brian. There's things that we look for, and I know exactly by if you're telling the truth, if you're crying or not. There's one thing that's missing. I'm not going to tell what it is. You can Google it, ladies and gentlemen. You won't find it. It's not out there. I've been taught by the FBI, the ATF, Homeland Security, Wicklander, Zoolander, whatever they're called, and the other private courses that I had to take when I became a civilian. But there's one thing that's missing, and you know what it is, Lily, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's natural, and you cannot produce it when you lie.
True.
Now I'm going to leave it at that. Now, when you sit there, you tell somebody in a court of law that I panic and I dispose of that body. Now, what is that telling you? That tells me that you just got rid of evidence. Now, what kind of law is on the statutes in any state is tampering with evidence? Okay, now that is a charge. He literally said that in the court of law.
Yeah.
Not only that, Shay, what is the other law about bodies?
Oh my God.
I just put her on the spot, ladies.
You did put me on the spot.
Sorry.
Usually I go,
Call 911.
Abuse of a corpse. Abuse of a corpse.
So in the state of Michigan, if you read the statute penal code, which we did on part 1, if you touch a body that has been deceased,
right,
and alter it any fashion or any way, that is a misdemeanor.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So he admits that in court. So yes, Kelly Joe, you're welcome back. You're live on Grizzly True Crimes with Shalyn and Rodgers and Grizzly. Are you there?
Nope.
Oh,
I'm here.
Heart.
Yep. Oh, we hear you.
All right, Kelly, go ahead, hon.
I'm here.
We gotta get. All right, we gotta get you fixed up somehow. Go ahead. Hey, Things Network. Oh my, a lot of people.
Why
What's
this
going
thing
on?
keeps doing that? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Brenda says 10 tears. 10 tears. Well, 10 tears is not enough for me. And look, everything at this time, ladies and gentlemen, is alleged. Okay, it's not been proven beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. Okay, we do not have the facts. We are going on assumptions, presumptions, assumptions. Right?
Right.
We are trying to assume what has taken place. We are theorizing what has taken place. So we're going to start up with Kit Kat Chat. What do you think about what you just watched for that video?
It bores me, like
bores you.
It just shows me what a lot of creeps there are on Earth, basically, and how many people are dishonest, and the games that are being played, and how many people are being hurt because of these types of people. It bores me, you know.
The
No
judge just
offense to
sat
Zion
there
or
and
anyone else
said
like
that
that,
you
but
all were stoned and you all didn't do nothing. Y'all didn't call 911.
no
But
way.
the
You know?
neighbor's door cam, allegedly, the Ring. Everybody knows what Ring is, right? A little doorbell. It's got that camera that everybody loves when everybody delivers their packages or they get stolen, right? Catches everything on camera. They actually see two people that meets the description and actually states that they take the body out wrapped up in the rug that was in the living room the night before on Facebook.
Legally,
on Facebook.
It's a joke, you know, like legally, it's just a joke. The whole thing is a joke. Like it's disrespectful to all humans and the judicial system, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, Lily, you're up.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry to cut. I didn't want to. So what I was saying, one of the things I typed to Grizz was that I feel that one of the main members, there's like a 3-part gang or association with the child sex trafficking as part of this. One of them has a legal background or was an ex-cop or was an ex-security guard. And that's why there some of the stuff that's been disappeared, as Shalyn pointed out. Yeah.
Has anyone seen Wayward Pines?
No, I haven't. What is that?
Everyone should watch this. This will blow you right out. You know, it's on SBS Online over here, but oh my God.
I got that through meditation. I'm sitting there and then all of a sudden they flash.
So much like all of this that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Hello there, FTL Paranormal. What's happening there from Australia?
Hi.
Oh, wow.
All right, Lily, go ahead. You got the floor.
Yeah, no. And so what Grizz gave me was the picture because he said, you know, you're coming on. And I said, okay, well, I don't even have the picture. So he gave me the picture. And then I sat there and I looked and I thought, this is going to be hysterical because I'm kind of new at this with the mediumship. I'm stronger with the psychic stuff. So, but I'm really good at timing. And then that was the other interesting part was that she felt that there was going to be a big break in this case. Zion said in about 6 weeks. And I don't know what's going to come about, whether this is a political thing or something gets found. I was trying to figure that out. But then she mentioned these 3 locations. I gave it to Grizz. And then I described the location, certain things about the locations, which I won't say publicly. But I think it'll help law enforcement if those places actually exist.
Grizz,
Now,
you need to send that to me.
Yeah, definitely. Now, one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that Shay and I failed to release, is that he said, or someone allegedly said that they took the body and they drove somewhere to a dumpster and dumped the body. Now, when they did that, they calculated an area in a circumference area where that body would be disposed of into a certain location. And they determined that location where it would be, and they spent how much money, Shay, the first time?
Well, no, it was just continuing. It was almost 550,000 supposedly.
Yeah, and that was with donations, business donations, personal donations, because the city and the county were like, we're done. You know, we're running out of money. We can't do it. And the people were like, hell no, you're not stopping. We want answers. Keep digging. And they're like, well, we need ice. We need tents. They're like, here's more money. Here's more money. And they couldn't find nothing.
Right.
They just stopped. They called it off.
Yeah. So now in some states, now I'm not an attorney. I do not practice law, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I have to disclose that. All right. I'm not. But, you know, there are things that you can go out there and look up law and decipher it by yourself and use your best judgment. It's pretty simple. But, you know, I mean, if you don't have a body, do you have a crime? But Lily, he admits in a court of law, I dumped the body. I moved the body.
And so the judge points that out. Did you see that? He very cleverly points it out that someone's dead and that's your thought instead of call 911. So I think he saw the fact that this guy was lying and it was well rehearsed, as Brianna kept pointing out.
Well, and this is what I wanted to read to you guys because I remember I said per the judge's words at the beginning of the crime. After Zion's mom read her victim impact statement, this is off the news, NBC, and this is in quotes, okay, direct words. The judge looked at, he said something to Zion's mom, and then he looked at Jalen Brazier, and then he said, you need to be punished. Your failure to be honest and truthful in preventing, I don't know, maybe preventing certain further pain and suffering from the family requires punishment. He then said he's going to prison today, and the prison sentence here hardly reflects the injury that you've accomplished. For that special program, this same judge had to sign off on that program. So for a judge to make a comment like this and then sign off knowing that he's going to serve less than 10 months doesn't make sense. Now, the other thing we did not disclose, because I didn't know until this week, he actually went and helped the family search for Zion.
Now, ain't that a whipping in the cracker brick and breaking britches? Now, does that make any sense, ladies and gentlemen?
Yep.
I did.
Derek, you're up. What do you think about all this?
Watching him in court, when it's like watching a pantomime in the UK. It's like he wants to turn round and start cheering him because he's trying to get himself out of a situation that he's got himself into, but he don't believe he's got into a situation, but he sort of wants to get himself out of something, and he can't figure out what or why because he doesn't know what he's done, or he thinks he doesn't know what he's done. And it's like watching a UK pantomime. It's like watching something. He's going to turn and say, I didn't do that, or I didn't do this, and he wants to cheer and go, yay! And it's like watching that. It's like watching a total pantomime, a complete farce of a justice system, with him saying, like to yourself, yeah, we had marijuana, yes, we had this, but I don't know how she died. No, you do know how she died, but you're not admitting it because you don't want to realise what you've done.
He knows. That's
he
what
knows
you're
exactly
saying.
What he's done. But he's trying to get himself out of a situation. Watching it, I was sat here and thinking, it's just like a pantomime. It's like he doesn't want to sort of admit to what he's done, and he's, well, I don't know. I want him in a good frame of mind. I don't know this. I don't know that. Yeah, you were. You killed her. Admit it. You've said you've done this, done that, but you just don't want to admit what you've done.
But Derek, now listen. Now at the very end, his attorney said, Judge, this man right here is not like my other clients that come forward and said, I did not do it. I am innocent. You know, he's not like these other people that I deal with. He is different. I believe in him. I believe he's telling the truth. Now, you telling me that he's not setting precedents for the next person in court to come up and say, hey, man, we were smoking dope. Jesus dropped down. We need to tell everybody. Oh,
exactly.
my God.
Yeah,
and I'm going to the boot camp.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. In the
You
right
can
state of
only get
mind.
down to a liar, but not a thief.
That's right. Tell me. All right, Kelly Joe, you're on.
Kelly Joe.
Try it again, Kelly Joe.
How we doing?
Kelly Joe.
Can you hear us?
Here I am.
All right, Kelly.
I can hear you.
I'm here.
All right, Kelly, take it over, Kelly.
I'm here.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kelly.
What'd you get?
Hold on.
Bless her heart. We got to get a technician over there or something and get her helped out. I mean, she's got her own sideshow with me, you know. And next up is Carol Ann. I got it right there, girl. So what do you think?
Can you raise your volume?
No, what it reminds me of is that Chinese movie or Japanese movie when we were kids. Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing? Now
or that show.
Yeah. See if you're No,
Is your
no,
volume
no
muted?
audio. Nope. Try.
Are you
Keep
muted?
trying. No,
She was
don't think
muted,
she's
I
muted.
think.
Oh, was she?
Oh, yes, she is
Yeah,
muted. Maybe,
she
maybe
is
I
muted.
muted her.
Okay.
Nope. Hey, Carolyn, your mic's muted.
Unmute
Carolyn.
yourself.
All right, next
No, it's
up,
okay now.
Catherine. Okay,
Okay.
you got it. All right. So, what'd you think about that video? Was everybody freezing up on me?
Me.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Okay.
It was too muted.
Do what?
What?
I couldn't hear that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he did it. I think something else happened. Somebody else says we talked about. Somebody else was involved. The kid's an idiot. I mean, there's no way. This is bigger than him. He's a patsy. That's my impression. And I don't know why aren't they talking about murder charges? Why aren't they talking about kidnapping? Why aren't they talking about obstructing justice? Why isn't that coming out? Is this just like the preliminary hearing? What the hell is
No,
this?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Why?
And this is my belief.
Okay.
I think that he is working undercover.
Yeah.
And that's why he got snuck out the back door. Nobody knew about it.
Okay.
Snitches get
Okay.
stitches. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We got a person that's dead.
Yeah, no.
Now, in a court of law, if somebody's going to admit that they removed a body, they were smoking dope, right? Now, he said he freaked out and he panicked. He panicked, ladies and gentlemen, right? He panicked. But then, in the other words, he sat there on the couch for approximately 10 minutes to figure out what the hell to do.
Yeah.
You know, somebody asked me how tall Zion was, and I'm sorry I misspoke. And this might be a little bit better for you guys to know. She was 5'1", 120 pounds.
Yeah, she was small.
He was 6'3", 185 pounds. And I literally have his
the cousin?
Michigan Department of Corrections arrest with all of what he was charged
No,
with.
ladies
how
and gentlemen,
his-
this is public information.
it is public information, or else I would not have showed everybody.
Right.
But that's a huge difference.
Yeah, it is.
Huge.
And the girlfriend you said is about 5'6".
Now, before I go to Catherine, okay, I'm going to make one more statement, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Now, if I was that judge,
Right.
which I am not, thank goodness, okay, because I'd probably end up in the river with the fishes.
Well, you'd be throwing books.
Yeah, I would be. I'll be in contempt of court and in prison.
Go ahead.
But you're sitting there in the living room.
I know.
You saw what happened, son. Tell me what transpired.
Oh, wow.
All right, Catherine, you're up.
All right, question. Did you say the carpet was brought back in the house again? Did I hear that correctly?
I'm sorry, the what brought back in the house?
The carpet was brought back in the house
Oh, no.
the next day? Oh,
No.
okay. I was going to say. Now, he didn't do it, but here's the little fish.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? There's bigger fishes out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and that was what was going around through social
Okay.
media and through the circle, is that confessing to doing something wrong
Well,
is better than
go round and round, round
Now,
and round.
I could see him rolling up a joint, right? She was drinking wine. She was drinking, but the person that actually murdered her came to the house. All right. I can see there was like stabbing. I can see the stabbing. I can see the suffocation with a bag around here. Okay. And she had seen something that she wasn't supposed to have seen. So her cousin was trying to persuade her to forget about it, to do not talk about it, not do anything about it, not go to the police. So because she said, no, I've got to do this, I've got to go to the police, she probably saw this, whatever Lily was saying about the sex trafficking, but she saw something bad. She saw something big. So the guy that came in to murder her was someone different. It wasn't her cousin. It was a bigger guy in his 30s with a tattoo with a snake around his arm.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Okay. Did I? Yeah, that's what I wanted to say later on, that when we were telling our stories of what we saw, I saw him with a snake tattoo.
Grizz, I'm gonna send you something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just got this one. Okay.
So go ahead. Keep rolling.
Keep going.
All right. So he tried to persuade her to stop, not to talk. He didn't want to get her murdered. The other guy had to kill her, right? So she could shut up. I'm sorry, pardon my French.
Oh, you're right.
And that was the guy with the he was actually laughing, and I can see burn marks on her body from cigarettes as well. So so they rolled her up, took her first to a reserve park to dump her there, and because they couldn't dump her there because it was really open, they took her to that place where I'm seeing the industrial waste in the river. So I don't know if all that makes sense.
No, it does.
It was the guy. It was the actual guy with the snake tattoo that actually stabbed, multiple stabs and suffocation with a bag.
Did you get that, Grizz? Did you see it?
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in just like a total all in shock right now. So am I supposed to check my phone or my email?
Your messenger.
My messenger. Okay.
If you're
Bree!
in awe now, open it up.
I'm actually on it right now, and I am like, you got to be. You serious?
I told you I have been doing digging.
Where did you get that?
Who, me?
No, hold up,
Shay.
Shay.
Oh.
Where'd you get that? Don't echo. Don't answer that on TV.
No,
or
I'm
air.
not going to.
Okay,
I'm not
Catherine.
going to.
Everybody stay when we're off this show. Everybody's got to stay on the show when we end this. We got to talk. Bree, you're up. What do you think, Bree?
I think that he did it. I think that he is. Look, I feel like someone was similar to the snake that this lady was seeing. I feel like he was holding a rosary, or she was holding a rosary, like maybe like a same color as the snake that you described, but I saw as probably something a little bit different, like a piece of jewelry, like a beaded rosary around the wrist, whether that be hers or his. But I feel like this boy that we just watched, the pathetic crier, did it, because at the end of the day, I'm very like I just feel when energy is not matching the words, I can tell the line. Now with him was the frustration that the judge wasn't believing him, that he was panicking about, and that's why he was starting to cry. What I believe is, and this is just my opinion, I believe that he literally injected her with fentanyl and literally knew that was going to happen. And I feel that he watched her die, and that's why he didn't call the police. He knew what he was doing. He was very smart. You don't have to be a big guy to be a smart criminal.
Somebody else last week said that there were remember needles, Grizz?
Oh yeah. Grizz doesn't forget. Grizz is just in shock and awe right now, ladies and gentlemen.
It wasn't. It was Lori. It was Lori. He wasn't on the show. It was Lori that said that.
I feel that she was either knocked unconscious first. I don't think that she would have wanted to have it obviously injected into her, but I feel like she was knocked unconscious first.
Are you taking notes on this when she's saying this?
Like what I feel it was more like a planned thing on the spot. So they saw an opportunity to do it where she wouldn't be held down to fighting and all that kind of stuff. The fighting had already been taken care of.
Bree, we're going to stop right here, Bree, and we're going to come right back to you, Bree. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break, brief commercial break. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No, we're gonna watch and listen.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh, somebody's got us on live. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Grizzly's Paranormal. I can't even talk. Grizzly's Paranormal and True Crimes with Shay Rodgers, part 2. Shay or Bree, I'm in shock. Bree, go ahead, Bree, take it over.
So basically, what I'm seeing is like either there was like an altercation, an argument. She was knocked unconscious, physically knocked unconscious. Someone said there could have been either used with chloroform or something like that. Either way, she was not physically conscious when the fentanyl was injected into her skin. And I feel that it was deliberately a high dose. It was meant to kill her. And I feel that that's why he said, who in their right mind would sit there and just watch someone die unless it was intended for that to happen? If somebody knew that was going to happen, and I see him being so calm throughout that situation, I see him being so, like, I don't believe he panicked. I believe this guy is a manipulative liar who knows how to convince people of his bullshit, except for the judge, which is his panic. That's my opinion. But it'd be interesting to see how it turns out. I think everyone did really well.
All right, now, Shay, would you like to
Yes.
add anything?
Now, the other thing that was released too is I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it because if I say something, I want to make sure that it's not paraphrasing.
Okay.
Okay, remember I said the high up official, I had this up. It was the commander, the Detroit Police Department.
Yeah.
This is verbatim what he said, that they believe Zion's cousin, Jalen Brazier, played a role in the disappearance. And then, in quotes, we are confident that Mr. Brazier is responsible for the death of Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was May of 2022. That has since disappeared. The homicide, the Wayne County, which is Detroit, the prosecuting attorney's office, they obtained a homicide warrant several weeks prior, but it had been rescinded. Okay. But the other thing I wanted to add is remember I said that he was helping the family look for the body.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Meaning the cousin or the judge?
No, the cousin.
Okay.
And he said that there was no contact. He was actually calling her mom. Oh, right here. Here we go.
Now, was he or was he not caught possession of Zion's phone?
No. Her phone was shut off.
Where was her phone
Later that night?
Wasn't it pinged or something? I'm trying to.
No, it was his phone that pinged.
His phone. It was pinged.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct. So it says that he had called her mom on January 5th. Okay. And somebody said that he was manipulative, and somebody down, one of the viewers made a comment about his story, making up a story, to go along with his confession. So he interjected himself and called Zion's mom on January 5th, right? And he said that he didn't know why Zion would lie and put him into this. That he had this. Let me read verbatim what he said. I don't know why Zion would lie and put me into this. I haven't seen her in years. I haven't seen her in months. We know that that's not true, right?
Kelly Joe, you're live now.
Is she there?
Kelly Joe.
Okay.
You're live. Take it away.
Hello.
You're live. Go ahead. Hello.
Okay.
Bless your heart. we gotta. Somebody's got to have to help her. Whoever lives close to her, let's get her. Hey, is there any techs in the area? Let's help her out. She does not have this issue on my show, so. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call this a show. Everybody else stay backstage. Please watch the trailer. There's an ending to the second trailer that I'm going to show. Hopefully get a kick out of it. It's a little bit longer. It's got the bloops and blunders of it, right? So we greatly appreciate all the people that join. Please make sure and like, subscribe, and follow us and hit us up on YouTube. If you have any cases out there, make sure and email us at Grizzly truecrimes@gmail.com. We will look at everybody's inquiries and cases. No, it does not have to be in America, ladies and gentlemen. We have cell phones, we have telephones, we have internet, and we got data and everything
Some
in
of
other
us.
countries.
Some of us.
And if it's down south, we still got it covered.
So we go from coast to coast and around the world, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't that right, Derek?
We are, yes.
Yeah, ain't that right, Kat?
Well, I would love to help out again now that I know that I'm not off my rocker.
Yeah. So are you not? Are you not in our group?
I don't think I'm in your group. No.
Yeah, you have to invite her. You have to invite her.
No, Shay, write her name down. Okay,
I
ladies
got
and
it.
gentlemen, from coast to
got the text
coast
message,
around the
actually.
world, I greatly appreciate everybody attending. Next week, we'll probably have a new case.
Yes.
And we'll follow up with you on this one. And God bless. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Take care.
Bye.
Nothing's working. Hold on. Don't go nowhere, Cat. Don't you hit that button, Cat. My button's not working, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up. I need a touch. Hold up now. This is not right. This is not right. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go back and try this one more time.
Oh, jeez.
This never happens to me, right? Here we go. Cut.
Okay.
We're just going to cut it.
That's it. Take
Hold on.
two.